Hello guys, welcome to the Python data visualization class. In this video, we are going to talk about line chart. Line chart or line graph is a type of chart which displays information as a series of data points called markers connected by straight line segments. We can use line charts to track changes over short and long periods of time. Line charts can also be used to compare changes over the same period of time for more than one group. Next slide shows a typical line graph. This shows the sales by month. So as you can see, we have the sales trend along the month. And then line chart can be used for different groups, can be used for one or more groups. In this case, we are comparing the monthly sales trend within 4 years. So we have 2017 up to 2020. By the end of this video, we'll be able to create a line chart, and then we'll be able to customize this chart, add more features such as changing the markers, such as adding grid lines to our line charts. We'll do all this in the Python programming using the Jupyter notebook. In the second part of the video, we'll solve a real data problem. That is the problem of the day. We'll use data manipulation skills with Pandas, and also we'll use time series. We'll also learn the time series or date functionality in the Pandas data frame. So stick to the video and then watch out for this problem of the day. Our documentation will use the Matplot library and the Pandas. That's a link for these two libraries. Thank you. Let's zoom straight to the welcome back from that intro. We're currently in the Jupyter notebook. So let's import our libraries. Import the pandas as PD. I also import matplot library dot pyplot as plot. And I want to do an inline. So alright, inline. So we've imported our libraries. For now, let's import our data. So I'll make a mark here, and then I'll mark this down. Let's use pandas to import our data. CSV. And then I want to visualize our data. So when I run this, we can see our data here. This is a simple data which contains the order ID, the month, the region, the product category, and then we have some sales and profit. So our first task will be to create our monthly sales trend. So we want to see how we are performing by sales, but this is just a simple data, because if we check the info of this, you see that we have only 12 entries and then 6 columns. So as you can see, it's indexing it from 0, so from 0 to 11, which is 12 rows. So it's just a simple data. Our first example will be a simple data, and then the second part will do more challenging data problem. So first of all, let's start with plotting our graph. Let me make a mark here, monthly sales trend. Our first task is to find a monthly sales trend. So we start by data, which is our data because we've assigned a variable. That's our data. So we've assigned our new data to a variable called data. So I'll call it here, so data.plot, and then I'll specify my axis. So in this case, we want to plot the sales versus the monthly. That's the monthly sales trend. So the month will be on the x-axis, and our values, that will be the sales, will be on the y-axis. So we want to specify both our x and y-axis. So our x-axis is going to be our month, and our y-axis is going to be the sales. So this is a simple plot, and then I want to add a title. The title is going to be our sales trend, our monthly sales trend. And then let's add some labels. Then X label, our X label is going to be the month. Our Y label is going to be the sales. So here will be Y, and then our Y label is going to be sales. So when we want to visualize the plot, then we add plot.show. When you run this, we are going to have the monthly sales trend. So as you can see, this is a line graph which shows how we are performing. So we can deduce, or we can take some readings from this visualization. As you can see, in April, our sales, we had a drop in March, and then there was an uprise in April. So let's add more custom visualizations to it. So adding more custom visualizations. So we are going to add our grid lines. We can change our markers. We can change our font sizes. So let's copy this. I'll copy this, and then I'm going to paste it here. I'm going to paste it here. So to change our color, we can also add some colors to it. So in this case, I want to add a color. I want to make it this green, and then we want to add a marker. In the marker, I want like a circular marker. You can also change it to rectangular. When you log on to the Matplot library documentation, when you go to the Matplot library website, you will see a lot of documentation. I'm going to share the link in the description below. So you see a lot of parameters that you can use in this. So you can change the marker types and all that. Let's increase our font size. So our font size is going to be, let's say we can go to 18. We can add a font size here as well. And then let's add a grid line. So when we run this, we can see that we have our grid lines here. We have added we've changed the font. So when you compare this, you see that our X label was smaller. We've changed the font sizes. We've added grid lines. We've also added markers. So you can see we've added a circular marker, and then we can also change the marker to be rectangular. Then when you run this, you see that we have this triangular shaped marker. So basically, let's rerun this. Let me just a quick recap of this. So first of all, we imported our data that is using the pandas data frame bd.read CSV, and then we imported our CSV file. We visualized our data, and then we checked our data types, that's and the number of columns and then entries as well. And then we looked at the syntax to plot a line graph or line chart here. In this case, we use the Matplot library, that is the data.plot, and then we specified our x-axis, we specified our y-axis. So when you look at our data, the heading or the column for the month is the month here, and then we specify sales as our y values. We added title, we also added our y and x labels as well. And then in the second part, we did some custom visualizations. In this case, we added the grid lines. So we used the matplot.grid, and then we specified it to be true. We can also turn it off when we say plot.grid is false. And then we added the title. We changed our font sizes and the marker types. You can check out the documentation at the Matplot library. Documentation, I'll share the link below. So thank you very much. See you in the next video. In the second part, we are going to solve real data problem. We are going to do a challenging problem of the day. So stick to us. Check out the link in the second video, and then see you in the second video. Bye.